as a translator for financial support and access to the country. He studied the language and published one of the first Bible translations into Cantonese. Monday, January 6th. On this day in 1795, James Finley died. He was born in Ireland and moved to Pennsylvania as a youth with his family. He began as a pastor in southeast Pennsylvania, but in 1783 he moved to western Pennsylvania with members of his congregation. He was the first settled pastor that far west, and also served as a justice of the peace there. James Finley's brother Samuel was also a pastor who initially served at a neighboring church in Maryland before he was called to be the 5th president of the College of New Jersey. Tuesday, January 7th. Robert Wallace was born on this day in 1697. He served as a Church of Scotland pastor in Glasgow and Edinburgh. He spent a lot of his career helping to develop the Widows' Fund for the church, which was finally chartered by Parliament in 1744. This was assisted by his serving as the moderator of the 1743 Church of Scotland General Assembly. Wednesday, January 8th. On this day in 1792, Lowell Mason was born. He was the first important music educator in the U.S., teaching music and establishing academies. He was the composer of over 1,600 hymn tunes, many of which are still widely used, including the tune Bethany, which is usually paired with Nearer My God to Thee, and Olivet, which is usually paired with My Faith Looks Up to Thee. He was a Congregationalist adherent, but is credited with developing modern congregational singing at the Fifth Avenue Presbyterian Church in New York City, where he was the music director. Critics note that this style pushed out traditional psalmody, and the style that still continues in the Sacred Harp tradition. Thursday, January 9th. The Auburn Affirmation was first published on this day in 1924. It had been scheduled to be released by the authors with the first 150-plus signatures on January 10th, but the New York Herald published it a day early. In May of that year, it was re-released with 8 times the number of signatures. Friday, January 10th. On this day in 1864, Samuel Alexander Bill was born. He was born and raised in Belfast and spent his career as a missionary in what is now Nigeria at the Kwa Ibobi Mission. Support for the mission was interdenominational, but a significant amount provided by the Ulster Presbyterians. Saturday, January 11th. This is Missionary Day in the Christian-dominated Indian state of Mizoram. It marks the anniversary of the arrival of the 2 pioneer Christian missionaries, J.H. Lorraine and F.W. Savage, from the Welsh Calvinist Church in 1894. Their work led to the development of the Presbyterian Church and the Baptist Church in that area. The Presbyterian Church today is the largest denomination in that state, and began observing the day in 1974, and was later adopted by the state government as a public holiday. Thanks for joining me here on the EAR podcast, and I look forward to joining you again next week.
You have reached the end of yet another episode from The Ear. We hope that God's Word remains on the ears of the listeners. We pray that this podcast would urge you to go forth and spread His good news to the world. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. See you at the next episode. God bless you, and may His glory shine upon you.